Good evening. Welcome back to the Terrace. I hope you are all doing very, very well. Interesting updates from Fabrizio Romano this evening via his wonderful interview with the United Stand. Gave major updates on many of the Man United players and situations, a lot that we've already covered today. What I wanted to do this evening was go through a few of them. The Raphael Varane situation, coupled with a tweet that the United Muppeteers, who are fairly credible as well, if we're being absolutely honest, have put out and said. And I think part of the reason behind this is listening to what Fabrizio has said, because he's informed, listening to what the Muppeteers have said, but going back to what we've been telling you for a number of weeks now, and this information comes from one of the leaders in this industry, in Dean Jones. Manchester United are looking at the possibility of making numerous signings, but the only one where the money is already in, where it's been sanctioned and we have the funds for the fee, the agent to sign the deal, is Jadon Sancho. It's the only deal that's straightforward from a financial standpoint. And what I mean by that is simple. Manchester United are looking at Raphael Varane. We're looking at Jules Kounde. We would love Declan Rice. We have made inquiries into the representatives of Harry Kane. These things have happened. Pau Torres is a player that we've reviewed and looked at. Kieran Trippier is an individual that we've been talking to for years. None of this is new news. None of it was new news as far as transfers were concerned. But what's important for Man United fans to realise is it's only likely that we're going to buy a new midfielder if part of our midfield is sold. It's only likely that we're going to be able to buy better defenders if money is raised through the sale of individuals, if salaries are recouped. So if this summer we find that Anthony Martial, Jesse Lingard, Matic and Jones and one of our goalkeepers are all sold, that frees up tens of millions of pounds a year in wages, and it brings in tens of millions of pounds of revenue for the club. Now, net spend is not a real situation. It's not a real thing. We know this. Clubs spend a percentage of their income as a business on player expenditure, transfers, wages, etc. You've only got a certain amount, a certain percentage you can spend each year. If you want to spend more, you have to save elsewhere or generate new income. We're going to go through a few things that have been said and been put out here and everything else. What some of you talking about in these comments? You guys make me laugh. You really do. A few people here saying Terry knows Sancho. Sancho's a deal that can legitimately 110% happen. I wouldn't even let it be a worry or a concern at all. Like, I wouldn't let it be a concern. Man United are going to get that done. In terms of what Fabrizio Romano has said today, he said here that Raphael Varane is open to move into an English club, and one of the top names on the list is Manchester United. He's also said, watch out and keep an eye out for Jules Kounde as well. It does appear that Manchester United have followed a very similar pattern to that of Chelsea. I'm not saying we've done it as well as Chelsea, but Chelsea's pattern is really clear. They've got one, two, three, four priorities at a time that they're talking to. Chelsea, in fact, have gone after the same centre-backs as Manchester United, primarily. The number one, number two targets appear to be Raphael Varane and Jules Kounde. How that will impact Man United, I don't know. But the United Muppeteers have come out and put a tweet out very, very recently where they've said, I want to put this out here as well so everybody can hear what's being said, so everyone's aware of it. I'm just trying to scroll through because I now seem to have lost this. It says... where is the tweet about Raphael Varane? I hate when I misplace a tweet because it gets up my nose. if I'm being honest, let me just go back and find that tweet again now. Sorry, because it was sent to me and I had it opened on a different screen and now it's disappeared. So I'm frustrated. Let's find this now. Let's find this now. Where is it gone? There it is. Okay. Why can't I find that tweet now, though? Anyway, here it is. It says, I've also heard today that it's becoming even more suspected that Varane will re-sign with Real Madrid. It isn't done, but a bit more in wages offered would see him sign a new deal. Should lead United on to Torres. He hasn't said the same sort of thing as Fabrizio. Fabrizio has mentioned Pau Torres. That is another player that Manchester United are looking at here. What he said about Pau Torres is, I've got the notes here from his interview earlier today. It says Pau Torres is on Man United's list. He has a release clause of 65 million euros this summer. He says, but I would say keep an eye on Jules Kounde. Man United, of course, got a priority list here. Different outlets are going to give you a different angle or idea of who these individuals are. But the Raphael Varane re-signing at Real Madrid, I think wages are apart. I also think it depends who's staying on. I almost get this sense that the players were looking at, maybe going, looking at a different route. I've been here a while. I've played under Zidane for a bit. Maybe I'll move on elsewhere. The injection of a new manager and a new system and a new ethos, along with more salary, can always keep people at a club. But what I find really interesting about this news from Fabrizio and from the Muppeteers this evening is, one, it reaffirms exactly what we've been telling you this whole time from information we've received from Dean Jones, that Man United are not going to just go out and buy 1, 2, 3, 4 players without the sale of others. It's highly likely that without the big sale of 1 or 2 individuals, and you start thinking about who can raise or save us money, you think David De Gea, you think Anthony Martial, potentially Paul Pogba. It's going to take those players leaving before we buy. Whether you like it or not, I think it's something that you have to legitimately, mentally prepare yourself for. That unless we make sales, it is highly unlikely that we're going to be bringing anybody new or additional into Manchester United. It's just as simple and as straightforward as that, as far as I can see. What's this guy saying? I'm not going to read his comment out because he's being very salty. We won't read it out. I just wanted to check what you're saying. Keep up the work. Thank you very much indeed. We will open the lines very soon for you to all come on and have your say. But do us a favor while you're all tuning in right now. Do us a big favor right now and hit that like button, hit that share button as well. As we say, we try and aggregate a lot of the news that's coming out around transfers and give you the opportunity to sit there and talk about it, say what you've got to say and all that jazz. We're going to share the link now to call in. I'm going to put it on the Discord server. I'm going to put it on the Discord server to encourage more of you to go and use that. I love our Discord server. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to put it into the general chat room, which is generally the busiest, although there's hundreds of others. Sometimes they're not used as frequently. So I'm going to put this out there now. Excuse me. Sorry, real tickly throat. Where are we? There we go. So that's shared now if you want to call in and have your say. One of our members here, Shane, says, Terry, do you think Varane or Kounde is realistic? Me personally, I think that United will go for Kounde if Raphael isn't realistic. I think they're all realistic, but there's moving parts. They're all dependent upon other elements. Us selling people, whether Raphael Varane could actually be a cheaper deal than Torres, although he's a better player based on contract length, etc. So I think they're all doable. They're all attainable. But will Man United get them over the line? That's a very different conversation. Chelsea are looking at least 2 of Man United's 3 priority centre-back signings, and they're very, very difficult to beat in the transfer market. I think we all know this and have experienced this as fans on many, many occasions. Let's do a few more players. If United can't afford players, getting Dembele on loan might work. People moaned about Cavani, and look how that went. Yeah, of course, there could be options out there, such as loan players, etc., that Man United could bring in. But I think it's more of a case of us selling before we buy. And I think we will look to buy, but we have to balance those books. And I think it's important to do that to a degree. Man United had a really bad habit of having a bloated squad, players on too much money, etc. And we're getting towards the back end of that now. Matic is likely to go this summer. Jones will go. One of Sergio Romero, either Dean Henderson or David De Gea will probably leave. I think there's a chance. If, for instance, if we're going to land a Harry Kane, then Martial's gone. And it's not about me wanting him out. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's just what's going to happen. Terry, we need a competent centre-back and CDM. Absolutely. And United are trying to get that secured. But it's going to require the sale of players to get that done. We just can't get away from that. It's the facts of the matter. Questions: Are they any ready-made defenders? Seems a lot of defenders are young defenders. Listen, I mean, listen. A couple of years ago, everybody would have said Koulibaly. Man United signed what we thought was a ready-made defender in Harry Maguire, and we still need more. It's very difficult to judge. You know, Liverpool went and signed 2 centre-backs in January. They're in the process of signing Konate, but then a player that none of them thought was good enough has turned into a very, very competent centre-back. You don't always know. So, you know, look at Pau Torres and you look at Kounde, they're on the way up. Raphael Varane is, of course, established as an example. Another sign that the Sancho departure is reported as a 70 million euro bid for Mane to Dortmund. Yeah, look, the Sancho deal's Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund this summer. Where he's going to end up, there is still a fair amount of conjecture. There's still a lot to be sorted, but he will leave Borussia Dortmund. He will leave Borussia Dortmund. He will. If Chelsea win the Champions League, I will not support Tottenham anymore. That's random. That is one of the most random things anyone's ever said on here. Raphael Varane is ready-made. Absolutely right, Josh. He's bang on ready-made. It's just something about that deal never felt right to me in terms of Man United actually getting it done and over the line. It just didn't quite feel doable. I can't even put my finger on as to why. I always felt like he'd sign a new deal. It had... Do you remember when Sergio Ramos did this? I think during LVG's era to Man United. There was just that thought the whole time that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And it didn't. And that's just the vibe this gives me. We're going to go to some of your calls very, very soon. I want you to come on, have your say, tell us what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Let's do some comments before that. Terry, when do you have a day off? I don't see the point. What's the point? I take time away to do things I want to do, but the kids are in bed. What am I going to do? Waste my life in front of the TV? I'd rather do this. I enjoy this. I actually find this relaxing and therapeutic. The gym and streaming are like, they're my outs. I feel like I'm out of the real world. It's fun. I enjoy it. So no, I don't take days off. I was very fortunate in my last job, the job I've got now, job before that. Part of my package in the job I had, I used to get 10 weeks holiday a year. Now, I don't know what people get in where they're from, if you're from outside the UK, but typically here you get 4 weeks. I used to get 10 weeks a year annual leave. Amazing. Amazing. But I'd only take about 2. I'd literally only take about 2 because I used to feel I didn't see the point. I'd lose money. Legitimately, I used to look at it like, because I used to work in kind of sales word would be the wrong word for the banking industry, but I used to make commission off of selling things. It's like, well, if I take 8 weeks off a year and on average I make so-and-so per week, I used to think that's like 100 grand a year I'm losing in sales. Why would I do that? Why would I do it? Stupid. So I didn't take the time off. Yeah, someone says 10 weeks, that's 2.5 months. I know how long that is, mate. Just the package I looked at. Comment here says, honestly, Terry, I would not sell Martial unless we can use the proceeds sales towards a world-class player. That's the idea, though, bro. The idea is we're making that sale. making that sale? By the way, that 100K a year wasn't what I was losing. That's what I was losing in sales. I was earning a percentage of that as a bonus plus my salary. And the reason I was able to negotiate that many weeks holiday is because I don't know why I did it. I was in negotiations for my contract, and I basically said I have to travel abroad a lot to see my son. So I wanted lots of holiday time, but I would achieve X if you'd give it to me, and they committed to it. And I didn't really need it anyway because my job, unless I was seeing someone face to face, it was very remote. So a lot of my clients were based in Ireland. So I used to fly out there for work and then stay and see him anyway. Didn't really matter. I had it and I was like, yeah, got all this holiday. And then I never used it. It was just stupid, really. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a very nice bottle of Pinot Noir tonight. I say bottle. I doubt I'll finish the bottle. I'm going to have a little stream with you all. I'm going to have a few sips of this. And then I'm going to go and watch Afterlife, which I've seen before. I really like that show. Chill out. And tomorrow, I will be streaming tomorrow in the morning and then in the evening, in the daytime. I am taking some time. My daughter's one of her best friends? He's turning 3. So I'm going to a fucking rock and roll tomorrow, a kid's birthday party. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. Gonna be amazing. Wonder which team will be affected more once players leave for the African Cup of Nations in January. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen any correlation between that tournament and people going backwards, but we'll see. Right, let's get to some of your calls here. Some people are asking how much money do I earn a year? I'm not telling you. It's a rather crude thing. That's a rather crude thing to ask somebody. I do okay. I do okay. I mean, in fairness, to go full time on YouTube, I'm going to be losing money in the short term. So that's that's scary because I grew up really poor, like really poor. Holes in my socks, no lunch money, free dinners. Sometimes trainers have got me bullied poor, and I've liked earning money, and now I'm like taking a massive pay cut to go full time on this, and it's like I'm really scared. I'm really scared. I don't even know why. Just really scared. Right, first up, we're gonna have Malcolm on the show. Malcolm, what you saying?
You know what I'm saying, man? What's up? Big up Terring. Big up everyone in the panel. Happy to be here. It's my first time here.
Thank you,
So
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to say?
So I just want to talk about Harry Kane and with everything that's going on. Him leaving Tottenham, and I just with Man United going for him. I just feel like I love to have Harry Kane, but if he's not like, to me, he's not one of my, I would say, like, top options if I'm going to the transfer market. um I mean, to have someone like Harry Kane would be an absolute, like, dream, to have someone like of him, like of his caliber, scoring goals. You probably just score goals. If City had him, they'll probably be scoring goals for fun, winning trophies. So um I mean, it depends. Like, I would have, like, I just feel like we should first try and invest in the positions that we need, like a DM and a center back. In in Before just going all out and just spending 150 million on just one striker. I'd rather
Yeah,
spend.
but I don't think that's what we're looking to do. Really, I think we're looking at multiple deals at the same time. The problem that you have is that there is a catch-22 here, and I'm not trying to defend the way we run as a club, but we have to be mindful and wait to see the wood for the trees, because we moaned for a few years that we didn't sign our priority targets or wait for them. So let's just say we want a striker, winger, CDM, and centre back, and we have a number one and maybe a number 2 priority for both positions, for all positions.
Mhm.
if centre back's the priority, but we can't land our number 1 or number 2 choice for a year, we have to. That doesn't mean we shouldn't sign somebody else in a different position. But football fans have this weird sort of notion that we should sign the most important position first and nothing else before it. But what if those key targets we're going for are not available for a year, 18 months? What if you can't work a deal up with those football clubs? Do you not sign anybody? And this is the thing with football fans. We are all, and I'm guilty of it, we're fickle. So what we will do is we'll say, I only wanted to sign our number 1 targets, like Liverpool, like City. And if we can't get them, wait for them to be available. But then we wait for them to be available, and then we moan that we're not signing the most important position first. Those two things have to coexist at the same time if you want them to happen. So for me, we might want a top centre-back more than we want Harry Kane. But if Harry Kane's available and one of the top centre-backs we want isn't, we shouldn't not sign Harry Kane. You just, you know, do you get where I'm coming from? And I think that we need.
I get. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely hear what you're saying. You know, because I love Harry Kane. Like, I think he's one of the best top strikers in the world right now, at least in Europe. And so, even though we need for someone like a Varane and a DM, I think to have someone like Harry Kane, I think he fits our. I think he'll fit our team. Let me just say that, because we need goals. We need.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Malcolm, listen, thank you for calling in, mate, and having your say. I really appreciate that, buddy. Top man. Thank you. I love some of your comments. You make me die, but I'm not going to read them out. I'll put them on the screen. So keep trying. Next on the show, we're going to have Aaron's with us. What are you saying, Aaron?
All right, Sarah, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
I've had a lovely day. I'm not single anymore. I'm officially a taken man.
Wow. Well done, you. Well done, you.
But yeah, it's been probably the greatest day of my life because it feels happy. I feel happy. So yeah, it's good, man. It's good, especially with all the Donny stuff as well. It's been great. But yeah, I'm good. It's look, I was sort of speaking with some other fans today about the whole Mbappe to Liverpool rumor, the Kane stuff, the Sancho stuff, the Lukaku rumor to Chelsea. Obviously Nuno leaving at the end of the season, that shocked me as well. I think one very important factor with the Sancho thing, first of all, and this is something I don't know if it's been reported on here before, but I've heard it from various verified sources. Potentially, Dortmund might go after Sadio Mane. Now, I think, and this might be a theory if all this comes true, Sancho goes to United for a real top deal. They use the funds from that sell to go put money towards the Mane deal. And then when if Mane goes, Liverpool bring in Mbappe. Now, obviously, it's a very drawn-out saga. It's going to be one of those things that happens throughout the transfer window. It's going to make this transfer window probably the most exciting one. And not just because we're going to be one of the busiest clubs anyway, but the fact that there's some top-quality deals going off in the Premier League. So there's real potential there. And I think Lukaku to Chelsea, I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's a great deal for Chelsea if that goes through. I think Lukaku, if you push Werner out wide, where he was playing, or you play a partnership where Werner usually plays best as striker in a partnership, if you put a partnership together of Lukaku as the target man and Werner as the quick finisher, you've got a real range of striker there, and you've got a nice blend of the two, and they bounce off each other. So that might be great for Chelsea's attack. And then on Kane, I think there's one destination here. And at first I was like, nah, I'm going to rule this out because I think they've got Gabriel Jesus, their man. The more I think about it, the more I start to believe, hang on, if Kane's not going to stay at Tottenham and be unhappy for another year, I think he will go to Man City. And I personally believe that Heung-min Son might end up leaving as well. I think it's a domino effect. I think Son might end up leaving as well. Where that will be, I don't know. Maybe instead of getting Mane, Dortmund might look at Son. You never know. But it should be interesting. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting transfer windows in a long, long time, Terry. Massive respect to you on the terrace, and I'm as happy as Larry.
I know you are, mate. Congratulations on. I mean, he sounds securing a girlfriend. That sounds a weird way of putting it. But I'm glad. I'm glad you found someone, mate. That's really
Yeah,
amazing.
I just can't wait to get back in the football stands, mate. 29th of May, I'm going to watch the Rovers legends play the Sheffield Wednesday legends. So I'm going to be watching Neil Mellor, Marcus Tudgay, Tim Ryan, Graham Lee.
Is your young lady from Doncaster as well?
Yeah. She don't mind going to the stadium as well. She's not like she doesn't follow football a lot like I do, but she likes going to keep.
And how did you two meet?
Well, I knew her from she got introduced by a friend from college. She was a mate of a friend from college, and we started talking on Facebook. Got linked up. Went on a couple of dates.
Is that the person whose DMs you slid into?
It is indeed.
Ledge, love it. Listen, you have a great evening, mate. Well done. Look after yourself, buddy, and we'll speak to you again soon. I like seeing people happy. It's nice. There's a comment here from Mark Goldbridge. He's quoting what Fabrizio has said today. I'm going to sound like a pompous twat when I read this out and say it, but I'm going to. It says here that Man United want to sign a new centre-back this summer, along with extending Bay's contract last month. And a new midfielder, depending on the Pogba and Donny situation. This is very much what we've told you via Dean Jones for weeks. Start following Dean Jones, one of the most credible voices in football. Man United are looking for all these things, but there isn't the cash. There isn't the money there to do it. So unless we make sales, there isn't going to be the improvements people think. The links are real. The links to the majority of links to Declan Rice, to Jules Kounde, to Torres, to Raphael Varane, to Kieran Trippier. These links are all real, but the signings will depend upon outgoings at the club. So when I say, like, Fabrizio's bang on, great bit of work again by Goldbridge and everybody at the United stand, but we're not hearing anything different here to what Dean Jones told us all via myself, and obviously I let one know where it was at a few weeks back. I reached out when the sort of links to Declan Rice begun and said, what's the SP? He just said Man United right now don't have the money. They're going to have to sell first. This isn't new news as such. But of course, when Fabrizio says it gets a lot more attention, and rightfully so. He's one of the most credible voices in the game. And it's important to know this, that the signings come with sales. So we've got to hope and pray people want our players. But you may find a marquee player or two leave. Martial, Pogba, Donny, De Gea. These players could leave to make room. They could leave to make room. Oh, you guys make me laugh. Next on the show, Hakeem is with us. What are you saying, Hakeem? Good evening. How are you?
Hey, Terry. How's it going, man?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. First of all, shout out to Aaron, man. Honestly, he actually, over the past couple of months, I enjoy every time he's on this show. Brilliant. I think he's a legend, man. So shout out to him.
You know what? I would argue, maybe not on, I don't know about tactical analysis of the game, but when it comes to the understanding and knowledge about the game in general, he's the most knowledgeable person that comes on the show. Without a doubt.
I don't know, maybe because he supports a smaller team, so he has a different perspective where it's more rooted in essence, whereas as United fans or as fans of Premier League teams, because they're such big brands, but yeah, shout out to him, bro. It's crazy. But
absolutely. What are you here to say, my guy?
Terry, to be honest with you, man, I'm actually, I used to love transfer season, but now I don't like it as much. It's probably because of all the rumors and stuff. And then I just know United, we flatter to deceive more often than not. And even if we do accomplish something, it's so drawn out, like you don't enjoy it anymore. So for me, it's kind of like, yo, if I don't see you in the shirt, I'm not gonna believe it. And also, I'm also not one of these fans where you have to sign someone from Real Madrid or where we sign you from, as long as it fits what we need. Obviously, same thing with Dan James. When Dan James signed, obviously I didn't watch him a lot, but I was willing to give him a chance. But obviously after watching him, I realized, oh, cool, he's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of those fans who's like, oh, we have to sign someone from Real Madrid, because in the past we've signed Nani, Anderson, even Ronaldo, young players who weren't known. So as long as we're recruiting in the right areas. But as far as what we need, I personally think we need two midfielders, not just one, two, because we really don't
Yeah,
dominate or sustain dominance in midfield.
and,
So
and I and I understand that. And listen, I suppose my view, I love the transfer market because I think it's the wheeler dealer in me. I think it's the salesperson in me. I love the to and the throw of the sales environment. So I
yeah,
think I'm attracted to the transfer market because it's all part and parcel. Now, I was talking to an agent today, and he basically said that a lot of deals take about 24 hours to get done, but they
hmm
take an eternity to get to that point where the official bids and everything goes in. And a lot of it is people saving face. Clubs don't want to put an official bid in until they know it's going to be accepted. And the way I would the example I was given was this, and it made me laugh because I used to do this. It's like most of the time, how often have you asked a girl out without knowing she's going to say yes?
oh yeah,
Like you do the reconnaissance, like you ask the friends, you do like you get to a point where you know 100% she likes you, and then you're like, fancy going out for a drink because there's less of a risk. How often do you see someone just randomly out of nowhere walk up to someone and be like, yeah, do you fancy going to the cinema tomorrow night? They don't do it. Like there's a
yeah,
lot of work that goes into it. I enjoy all the patter. I enjoy the chatting up. I enjoy the relationship building, the to in, the throw in, the deals that can be done behind the scenes. I love it. So I'm not that bothered. Outside of Man United signings, who or what or where they end up, I love the to in and the throw in. I would love to be involved in the transfer industry in some way, shape, or form. I think it's just amazing. There's part of me that prefers it to the football for some reason. Maybe it's the salesperson in me, but it's going to be an amazing summer this year. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Man United are going to get Jadon Sancho. I'm 99% sure of that. Not that I've been told. That's just my feeling for everything.
yeah.
But whether or not we get other signings depends on who this club can get rid of. And if we get rid of 3 or 4 players we don't want, there will be some very nice signings this year. If not, it could be a bumpy ride next season. Akeem, thank you for calling in, bro. Always appreciate that.
It, man.
Man. Artem here says, Man City not getting Kane. Trevor Sinclair said they are going after Tammy Hay. Do you know what? Trevor Sinclair, him and Jamie O'Hara, it's almost like once a week each, they just come out with these gems. Once a week, they just come out with something amazing. They really, really do. Once a week, without fail, they just come out with something that's a thing of beauty, an absolute thing of beauty. Look at that. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love you, Twisted Terry. Sancho will improve United. How will Ollie improve Sancho? He'll improve Sancho by making he'll get him to adapt mentality-wise to handling the pressures at a greater level, at the highest level. I think he'll make him better. He'll be good at it anyway. I think Ollie will get him to a better level. He will teach him about the importance that even though you've made it to the highest level of the game, to the pinnacle in terms of size of clubs, the hard work, passion, and dedication is needed every single day. Ollie's squads may lack quality in areas, but they don't lack that. That's what it'll teach him, in my opinion, above and beyond anything technical. I really do. I also think he'll be able to teach him, not that he needs much improvement in this area because he's one of the best creators in the world. Ollie was an amazing striker. He'll be teaching Sancho about the movement of great strikers, to maybe teach a few little nuances and a few little changes to maybe where he cuts the ball back, maybe where he looks to pass the ball, knowing that a top-level striker like a Cavani is going to be there, even if it looks like he's not going to be. So I think there's some pearls of wisdom that he can give him as well. There's no doubt about that. Let's do some more of these comments here. I'm not going to be here much longer with you. Terry, what are you drinking? As I said earlier, a nice little bit of red wine. Nice little bit of Pinot Noir. It's a nice, it's thin. It's a nice, I don't know what the right word is because I'm not a wine connoisseur. I just like drinking it. It's very fruity. And I call it thin. So it isn't thick and heavy. It's nice. You could almost drink it in the heat. Like I don't drink red wine when it's hot. That's weird. Or sunny. It's a weird thing to do. But you could almost drink this when it's warm, quite light, very airy. So it's very, very nice. So Pinot Noir is very good for that. Very, very good for that. Very, very good for that indeed. That's about as much as I know about wine. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert because I know that's all. That isn't what I know. That's how I feel drinking it. By the way, that's anecdotal as opposed to factual. The wine terrace, love it. Terry, are you going to expand on your streams to other European leagues? Maybe one day, not yet. Not yet. We're going to be expanding teams, but that's it. Have I seen Man United's new home kit? I'm really not interested. I'm going to sound so horrible here. Grown men that get excited over football kits, they're dangers, mate. They're whoppers. I worry. I worry about any grown man who's like, oh, new kits, or football. Unless you're play football boots as well. I see guys that clearly don't play football that buzz over new boots. I'm like, why? You ain't wearing them, bruv. You know what I mean? You're 18 stone and can't walk up the stairs without getting a stitch. Why are you excited about a brand new pair of Predators, bruv? Weird. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm just grown now, matured, getting excited over football kits. Yeah. Thank you for that super chat, my guy. Jaylings fam says Terry out of context, but Netflix recommendation for movies comedy. I don't know. Depends what you like. Do you know what I watched the other day, which I'd never seen before? I'm a big Ricky Gervais fan, and I watched The Invention of Lying. Now, I felt they could have made the film better, but I love the concept of how religion was formed through like being the first person to lie. I thought it was astoundingly funny. That element of it. There were bits of it that I just thought was yeah. But yeah, you've got to be a Gervais fan, I think. A few of you agreeing with me. Someone says it is creepy for sure. Yeah, listen, I don't mind. Like, I see someone the other day, like you might come out, oh, it's nice, it's wavy, it's good. I like how it looks. But some people are like, oh, I'm gonna do an unboxing video. I'm gonna talk about the stitching. I'm gonna talk the badge. The badge feels great. Shut up. Really? Who cares? By the way, we're gonna get offered a sponsorship deal soon to do a unboxing of a shirt. And I am gonna say yes for the money, so you better clip that up. But who cares? Like, again, I don't mind it from if it's a sponsor and you're putting it out there because your sponsor wants you to sell their product, great. Because when it comes to work, I care. Do you know what I mean? Some of the products I've sold people, I don't care about phones. I used to sell them. I didn't care about some things I sold in the bank, but I used to sell them. But actually being excited about, like, oh, the new iPhone's coming out. Fuck off. Grow up. PlayStations are different because you can actually do something with them. They're fun to use. I get that. But yeah, man, people are weird. Proper weird. Let's see a few more of your comments here. What you all saying? My 3 signings this summer. For Man United. Okay. I'm not really too aware of the Sevilla player or the Juve player, so I'll do a bit of research. Would you unbox a United shirt? No. Not unless they paid me. And even now, with the Glazer stuff going on, I think I would say no. If it was a stupid amount of money, which it wouldn't be because I'm not a big enough influencer, so it's an irrelevance. If they said 100 quid to do an unboxing, nah, I'm all right, thanks. I wouldn't do it. One, it'd be boring because I'd be so. Maybe I should do it. Maybe there's a quirk here. Maybe I should do like the unenthusiastic unboxing. It's a shirt. It's red. Woo. Bit tight around the edges. Your muffin top sticking out. Maybe I should do like I'm bored of reviewing this thing. There we go. Terry, get off your high horse. It's not about my high horse. He just, by the way, younguns, I'm cool with. People that play football, sweet. I'm talking about, like, my big brother, who's a big lad, was like, oh, bruv, you see the new Nike football boots? They're purple and pink. You're like, why do you care, bruv? Your feet are so big, you have to wear Wellingtons in the summer. Why do you care about boots? I don't understand. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Respect. There we go. I wonder. I did see a couple of YouTubers already starting to do unboxing videos, but I've seen them tweet about how bad their boards are, and I'm just sort of like, rap. You're done, mate. Exactly that, Zane. What did Zane say? Let them have fun. Oh, listen, they can have their fun. I'm just telling you how I think about it. I don't get. One more saying is this. Tell me why you care so much. Do you know what I mean? I understand a computer game, a PlayStation, a box set, an album. Clothes I never really get. Especially football shirts. Because you can't really wear a football shirt anywhere, can you? It always looks weird, I think. Like when you see a bloke in a pub in a football shirt, but he's not watching football. I don't know. I find it weird. Do you think we're getting Sancho? Yes. Excuse me. Yes. 100%. 100%. Let's do another call here. We're going to get HSK88 on the show now to have his say or her say. What are you saying?
Hey Terry, can you hear me?
Yes, my guy. What's on your mind?
I wanted to talk about the interview. I actually watched it with the one with Mark Goldbridge. To be honest, the only one that I was like made sense was the Sancho deal. The others were all in doubt. Like maybe if this happens, then this is gonna happen. Then if that happens, nothing is really clear. Like it's too early, in my opinion. It's too early to even the targets. Like it's weird that United have very nice targets. Like they don't usually have those. Like we all want Varane. He's there. We all think that Declan Rice is a perfect fit in our center defensive midfield. He's there. It doesn't make any sense, to be honest. Like the rumor, I feel like it's just like like a PR spin. Like they want the positivity. I think that they're preparing for the, God forbid anything happens in the Europa League final. They're just accumulating it until something happens. Maybe, God forbid, we might lose or something. I'm a United fan also.
Yeah.
So,
no, do you know what? I do get where you're coming from in terms of it being very early, and it is very early in the transfer window. Barring the Sancho situation, there is no doubt about that whatsoever.
1 year of awfulness with that Sancho deal. I swear, I actually was so excited that we were gonna get him last year. So, I think they're way back. Like they should have finished that Sancho deal. It's like they're delayed their homework. It's awful.
Yeah, I hate
like you're trying to convince me on something that I already knew that was gonna happen, and now you're trying to play it like, oh wow, we're gonna get Sancho. No, we need Sancho like yesterday. We don't need him today. Obviously, we need him today.
Yeah, we need him, but I do hear you 100%. Bro, thank you very much for coming on, having your say.
Very welcome, Terry. Big up to yourself.
Man, thank you, saying thank you, my guy. Thank you. This is true here. He says it's not that people get, but football shirts are fashionable nowadays, and I can accept that. That if they're considered fashionable, then cool. It's the excitement I don't get. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But fair play. Fair play. I love some of your comments. Listen, I'm back tomorrow with more content for you. Until then, take care of yourselves. Have great evenings, everybody. Put a big smile on your faces. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. See you all soon.